Today, I'll be explaining the Hindu editorial Code Red. IPCC's warning on climate points out to a small window of opportunity that still exists. So, IPCC, that is Indian Panel on Climate Control, um, it has recently given a warning about Indian climate and how it can be restored. While it is a warning, there's still a chance by which we can recover our climatic condition. The IPCC has issued arguably its strongest warning yet on the impending catastrophe from unmitigated global warming caused by human activity, lending scientific credence to the argument that risking wildfires, heat waves, extreme rainfall, and floods witnessed in recent times are all strongly influenced by changing climate. So IPCC, Indian Panel on Climate Control, it has said arguably its strongest warning. So recently the warning which IPCC has given was arguably its strongest warning. Means most likely it didn't give such a strong warning never. On impending catastrophe. An impending catastrophe means on a disaster that is about to happen. So IPCC gave a strong warning, very strong warning about a disaster which is about to occur from the unmitigated global warming. And this disaster is caused by the unmitigated, means uncontrolled or overly done global warming caused by the human activities, lending scientific credence to the argument that so due to these human activities, as they cause global warming, due to those human activities, the climate changes such as wildfires, heat waves, extreme rainfall, all these things are happening because of the human activities and because of the global warming. In a stark report on the physical science basis of the climate change contributed for a broader assessment report of the UN, the IPCC's Working Group 1 has called the deep cuts to carbon dioxide emissions and other greenhouse gases and a move to net zero emissions, as the world would otherwise exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius of warming during the 21st century with permanent consequences. So in a stark report on the physical science base, so IPCC has done a report on the UN document of the condition of the weather. A stark report. Here the report which is done by IPCC was a stark report, which means that stark means harsh reality, means so here stark report means honest report. The honest report on the assessment report of the UN says that IPCC has recently working on carbon dioxide emissions and other greenhouse gases and a move to net zero emissions, and they are also trying to get the carbon dioxide emissions to zero, which is quite hard. Exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2. So because of the carbon emissions because of them not decreasing, the temperature in the 21st century has been increased by 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2 degrees Celsius. And this will also have permanent consequences. One may think that this change in the climate is quite low, just 1.5 or 2%. What can that do? But it can do a lot. Climate change is described by many as a far greater threat to humanity than COVID-19 because of its irreversible impacts. Many people don't understand how dangerous climate or Mother Earth can be. It can be more disastrous than COVID-19. What COVID-19 did to us, we are still suffering from it, and it still has its impact on us. It's not gone, and it still has its impact on us. So what the author is saying is that we are suffering so much from COVID-19. Climate change can impact us even severely, and we may even lose our lives. The latest report is bound to strengthen the criticism that leaders in many countries have stonewalled and avoided moving away from coal and other fossil fuels, while even those promised to act fail to influence other multilateral system. So the first step or one of the initiatives to decrease the carbon dioxide emissions is the usage of fossil fuels. So if you decrease the usage of fossil fuels, the emissions will obviously be low, and carbon dioxide percentage will decrease, and so will the percentage of other greenhouse gases. Even though many nations and many leaders in the nation have promised that they will work on decreasing the fossil fuel emissions, none of them have made any act to do so. The new report attributes catastrophic events to sustained global warming, particularly the frequency and the intensity of the hot extremes, marine heat waves, heavy precipitation, agricultural and ecological droughts, proportion of intense tropical cyclones, and the reductions in Arctic sea ice, snow cover, and permafrost. So the new report, which was done by the IPCC, attributes catastrophic events to sustained global warming. So the new report says that if the global warming continues, very catastrophic events can occur, like hot extremes. The temperatures could be very hot; they could rise highly, and the marine heat waves in water, heavy precipitation. Heavy precipitation means huge rains. It may usually cause to floods. Agricultural and ecological droughts, proportion of intense tropical cyclones, and reductions in Arctic sea ice snow. So, if the ice at the Arctic pole decreases, it means that ice is melting. So, if ice is melting, then the sea level is going to rise, which may be a problem to many coastal areas. A phenomenon such as heavy rainfall over land, for instance, could be 10.5% wetter in a world warmer by 1.5 degrees Celsius and occur 1.5 times more often compared to the 1850 to 1900 period. So, this sentence says that recently we've read that the temperature increase in the 21st century because of the increased carbon dioxide emissions. The temperature is increased by 1.5 or 2 degrees Celsius. I told that even though the number may seem very small, it has huge consequences. An example is given here. When compared to the period of 1850 to 1900, when compared to that period, this temperature increase could be more severe by 10.5%. And what I mean by more severe is that more rain could occur, 10.5% more rain could occur, and the frequency of the rain occurring, or the number of times the rain may occur, increases by 1.5 times. And this is compared to the data in the period of 1850 to 1990. More than 5 years after the Paris Agreement was concluded, there is no consensus on raising ambition to reduce emissions, making access to low carbon technologies easier, and adequately funding mitigation and adaptation. So it has been 5 years since the Paris Agreement. So Paris Agreement is it's basically an agreement where different nations come together and discuss about what they're going to do for the betterment of the climate condition across the globe. Many of you should know about the Kyoto Protocol, which has been done in the Japan Agreement. So similarly, this is a Paris Agreement, and it has been 5 years since the Paris Agreement, when all the nations came together and aimed to reduce the carbon emissions, but none of them had achieved it. COVID-19 had the unexpected effect of marginally and temporarily depressing emissions. The IPCC analysis presents scenarios of large-scale collapse of climate systems that future leaders would find virtually impossible to manage. So, in one way, COVID-19 had actually been a good factor in decreasing the emissions this few years, because of COVID-19 there was a lockdown, and we weren't allowed to go outside. So if we don't go outside, we stop using the vehicles, which will automatically reduce the carbon dioxide emissions or the carbon monoxide emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions. So the benefit that we got from COVID-19, or the number of emissions that has been decreased by the COVID-19, would seem impossible to be decreased by any other activities which our leaders could do. Heat waves and heavy rainfall events experienced with increased frequency and intensity are just two of these, while disruptions to the global cycle pose a more unpredictable threat. So one of the two basic threats are heat waves in the water and heavy rainfall. And even more severe things can happen if the water cycle gets interrupted or disrupted. Also, if emissions continue to rise, oceans and land, two important sinks, and the latter, a key part of India's climate action plan, would be greatly weakened in their ability to absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide. So, if the emissions if they even more continue to rise, oceans and land too. So, we have an atmosphere which absorbs the carbon dioxide. Due to this reason, the atmosphere may act as a greenhouse and more sunlight can be trapped. So, atmosphere is not the only thing that traps carbon dioxide. Our land and water also traps carbon dioxide. But if the temperature continues to increase, the land and ocean can contain no more carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is going to be contained in the atmosphere, which will increase the more amount of sunlight that's maintained in the Earth's atmosphere, which will raise the temperature. So basically, simply if we continue the rise of emissions, the global warming will happen on a very large scale. The new report sets the stage for the COP26 conference in November. So the new meeting is going to be set in November. The new meeting is going to be set in November, and it's staged for the COP26. The only one course to adopt there is for developed countries where legacy emissions to effect deep cuts transfer technology without strings to emerging economics and heavily fund mitigation and adaptation. Developing nations should then have no hesitation in committing themselves to steeper emission cuts. So, the author is saying that first, the initiative should be taken by the countries who have a good economy. For example, take the US. America has a good economy, so it should take the initiative and decrease the carbon dioxide emissions by a few methods like by funding mitigation, funding the control of the emissions, and so on. And next, the developing countries, for example, like India, could inspire from the actions of the US, and it can also commit itself to decrease the emissions. Thank you.